Colonists were outraged once again with the king and Parliament's blatant violation of their rights. English law clearly stated that there would be no standing army in peacetime, and here once again was an army in action during peacetime. The colonists really felt like they were being treated as second-class citizens compared to the people living in England.
The tension between the colonists and soldiers finally erupted into violence and to what became known as the Boston Massacre. On the streets of Boston, a crowd of colonists gathered as they discussed their dislike of having the soldiers present. Soon, a group of soldiers walked by. The crowd began throwing rocks and snowballs filled with rocks at the soldiers and calling them names. The soldiers fought to defend themselves when they heard someone yell, "Fire!" In the end, 5 colonists lay dead. Among the dead was Crispus Attucks. He was half African and half Native American colonist. He became the face of the Boston Massacre, an innocent bystander who was mowed down by the guns of the British. The Sons of Liberty turned this event into the Boston Massacre. This engraving shown here was carved by Paul Revere. It was then copied and printed throughout the colonies and used as propaganda to increase anti-British feelings, and it did just that.
Now, it's important to realize that we are still 6 years away from declaring our independence. No one is even thinking of independence as a possibility. Most colonists are simply dissatisfied with the king, Prime Minister Grenville, and Parliament and want changes made. Can you believe that those colonists wrote another song to commemorate this historical event?
For the killing of a deputy, for the life of a deputy, I say, I shot the sheriff, but I swear it was in self-defense.
In 1767, the British passed yet another tax on the colonists. This time, it was the Townshend Acts. This act taxed only daily goods like glass, lead, paper, paint, and tea. Once again, this act has a major impact on the colonists as it deals with everyday goods. Once again, those creative colonists created another song to represent the Townshend Acts.
But you can see me good enough. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart.
This act also allowed British officials to use writs of assistance. This allowed British officials to search private property for smuggled goods. No search warrant or probable cause was needed. Think about today. The police have to have a search warrant in order to search your home. I'm sure that you have seen this on TV several times. In order for the police to get a search warrant, they must have probable cause. In other words, they have to have some sort of evidence of what they hope to find inside your house.
However, this writs of assistance allowed officials to search your home any time they wanted.
Colonists continue the boycotts and even take it a step further in their reaction to the Townshend Act by signing non-importation agreements. Colonists were sending a direct message to the King and Parliament: stop taxation without representation.
It wasn't only the men who protested these British actions. The women also gathered together to form the Daughters of Liberty. They tended to be more peaceful than their male counterparts. Mercy Otis Warren was one of the most famous anti-British women. She wrote plays and poems in which she opposed British actions and made fun of some of the British officials.
Once again, the colonists pointed out the violation of rights: illegal searches, standing armies in peacetime. English law was supposed to protect citizens from searches without probable cause. We will be doing an activity with these sources in class.